to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back, Unfazed fans, to another exciting episode of Unfazed, featuring your boys, JJ and Ajae. We got a lot to get into today, man. It's going to be the last time, I'm assuming for a while, we're going to talk football, because the Super Bowl has come and gone. We have a new champion. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. They are the champions, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions heading into next season. I had a lot to say about them in the regular season. They came out, won 14 games, went to the playoffs. I doubted them all the way up into the Super Bowl, through the Super Bowl, and they came out with the Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi trophy. So shout out to the Seahawks. I gotta ask you, JJ Joe Jordan, how you feeling? How you doing today, man?
I'm feeling great. You know, Super Bowl was a defensive battle. Looking forward to talk about it. I want to hear what you got to say about this Sam Darnold topic, because I know a lot of guys are putting him above your boy, Jalen Hurts. So I want to hear what you got to say about that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. They was waiting on their moment. You know what I mean? They was waiting on their moment. We gonna get to that when it's time. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about, you know, if the Patriots missed out on their window because they had an opportunity here. Will this window still be open next season going forward? But before we get into those narratives, before we get into the narrative-driven stuff, we got to get to the actual game. I got to ask you, JJ Joe Jordan, recapping the game, how did you feel about the Super Bowl? What did you think about the Super Bowl? What are your Super Bowl thoughts? Now, I don't know how many days now removed from the actual game. How you feeling about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was a defensive battle, like I said. I picked the Seahawks going to this game, but I wanted to be the odd guy and go with the Patriots, but you went with the Patriots, and I'm so glad I stuck with the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks, clearly, like you said on the show on last Friday, they are the better team. They're the better team. They got a better defense, but the Patriots defense played well. Seattle was first overall. They was second overall. And Patriots actually second overall in scoring defense and points and yards allowed. And they showed out. Both defenses did. Now, both quarterback play could have been better. I know everybody's on Drake May. I don't think Sam Darnold had a good game. I thought he put a lot of balls low to JSN and to Rashid Shaheed. But Sam Darnold, what he didn't do is turn the ball over. And that's what the Patriots been doing this whole playoff run, is living off their opponent's turnover. You look at the Broncos game, their only touchdown came from a turnover and then turned into a touchdown afterwards on a short field. And without that turnover, they might not even be in the Super Bowl. So, and you can tell that's the game plan the Patriots came in with, because off rip, they were aggressive. They were jumping every pass what Sam Darnold was throwing. And they were super and overly conservative on offense, begging Sam Darnold to give them the ball. They weren't going for it on fourth down. It was one time when they were on their own territory late in the third quarter, down 12-0. It was like 4th and 1 or maybe 4th and 2, and they punted the ball. I was surprised by that. So they weren't taking no chances until the end of the game, and the more chances Jake May took, the more turnovers started piled up. Now, the defense was shut out. I mean, the Seahawks defense shut out the Patriots offense. I mean, every drive was a punt or a turnover. That's what it felt like. They went they first 9 drives. First 9 drives, 8 punts and a fumble loss. They first 9 drives, 8 punts and a fumble loss, and they had 5 3-and-outs in those punts. 5 3-and-outs. You come out the second half, the whole third quarter, 3-and-out, 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 fumble. They didn't do nothing until the fourth quarter. Now you look at Drake May's stats, 200 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. You're like, oh, Snake had a good game. No, that was all in garbage time. I saw some numbers, AJ. I was surprised. I was shocked when I saw this. Now, I don't really like to dig into this stat because it's like for the nerds. But you know the EPA stat, right? Did you know that Drake May had the worst EPA in the playoff run history? That played at least 3 games? He had a negative 29.2. I don't know if you remember. Remember the Broncos won the Super Bowl? With Peyton Manning?
Yep.
Do you remember how bad Peyton Manning looked when that run? He was worse than Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
He was worse than Peyton Manning, worse than Wes Grossman, worse than Jared Goff when he went to the Super Bowl, worse than Kerry Collins. He was bad. No, granted, he played top defense. Broncos top defense. Seahawks are top defense. Chargers are top defense. And who I'm missing? That's it, the Texans?
Yeah, the Texans. Yep, Texans, Chargers.
So every team he played was the top defense. So I would give him that.
Broncos.
But Drake May. Well, we're gonna get to Drake May later when it comes to the Patriots. But I think the Seahawks, they were dominant defensively, and they play the point game. We're going to take all the points. We're not going to be aggressive. Also, we're not going to go for it and that stuff. I do want to give a shout out to Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker, MVP. Kenneth Walker had 9 missed tackles. Sorry, he broke 9 tackles and got an extra 79 yards on those missed tackles. He was winning the edge almost every single time. And I said on the show, I know you was like, Josh McDaniels, he gonna dice him up. Mike McDonald. Did you know that Mike McDonald is the first coach in NFL history to win a Super Bowl while calling defensive plays?
I didn't know that.
He the first one. Everybody else, just a CEO. Shout out to Nick Sirianni, or offensive coordinator. He's the first one that called defensive plays in the division, like I said, with a bunch of offensive-minded people. And to show you how good of a coach he is, this is the first time in NFL history a Super Bowl winning team did not turn the ball over on offense at all throughout the whole playoffs. First time. First time a quarterback hasn't turned the ball over since Drew Brees and when he won a Super Bowl. So I give credit to that to Mike McDonald. Don't get me wrong. Sam Darnold almost threw a couple in the Super Bowl. The Patriots just didn't capitalize on it. But shout out to the Seahawks. They deserve the win. Shout out to Sam Darnold for overcoming all the adversity he went through throughout his career. Shout out to K9 for getting the Super Bowl MVP. And shout out to Mike McDonald for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So as a guy that picked the Patriots to win this football game, it's odd to me, and I said this before, right? I said the Seattle Seahawks are the better team. Seattle's clearly the better team on paper. Given what we've seen this season, it just felt like Seattle was the better team that had played the better competition. But it just felt like it was the Patriots' time, in my opinion. It felt like they had enough momentum to ride that into the Super Bowl. They had the stuff going on with Belichick, and that's a
good question.
That's a very good question. It's a very good question. That's a very good question. But it seemed like they
probably
had
NFC. My bad.
That's probably right. That sounds correct. That sounds correct. Because then you gotta think maybe Mike Tomlin too. Mike Tomlin might be in that conversation as far as NFL.
No, Mike Tomlin didn't call defense. Dick LeBeau did.
You're right. Okay. But no, going into this game, I felt like I said, the Seahawks were the better football team. I just felt like the Patriots, it was something different about them. They had a different spark about them. And I felt like Drake May was due for a game. This guy is second team All Pro. This guy was a second in MVP voting. This guy, had a great regular season, and it just didn't translate to the postseason yet. So I felt like, man, if there was ever a time for him to come out and have a big time game, this coaching staff now has 2 weeks to prepare. These players have 2 weeks to prepare for the Seattle Seahawks, right? And they come out in this game, I'm thinking McDaniels is going to have trick plays. He's going to have adjustments. He's going to have things that are ready to attack the Seattle Seahawks defense. They came out playing exactly how they played the rest of the postseason. Most notably, how they played against the Denver Broncos. They played the Super Bowl not to lose. That's how it felt. All game long, you didn't go forward on fourth downs. You made no real... Will Campbell getting killed all night long. Getting abused all night long. You had no plan for him. You knew he was your weak link on your offensive line. Everyone knew that going into the game. You made no adjustment to help him out whatsoever, right? You didn't give your quarterback any answers to the test. Again, you had 2 weeks to prepare. You got blitzes coming from both sides of the line, right? He clearly not making the adjustments and picking it up. You got multiple opportunities between possessions to make adjustments, and no adjustments were made. I know we're going to get to the Patriots soon, but I got to get that off my chest because that was just weird to watch. For a guy that has coached in so many Super Bowls, it made me think to myself, how much were you leaning on Tom Brady's expertise? Because, I mean, my goodness, you didn't help the young guy out at all. Now, he didn't play a great game either. He had some plays that he flat out missed as well. He had some bad reads, some bad throws. I walked away from that game, feeling like Drake May just wasn't ready. That's just the truth. I walked away from the playoffs now, including the Super Bowl, thinking to myself, young man just wasn't ready. The defense was ridiculous. Shout out to Gonzalez. I thought he was the best. Kenneth Walker won MVP. I thought Gonzalez was the person who stood out amongst every player on the field on Super Bowl Sunday. He made play after play, single-handedly kept the Patriots within striking distance for the most part the entire game. That's what it felt like. But all in all, Seattle came out and they dominated defensively. We knew what Seattle's defense was, right? And we knew in this game, if the Patriots came out playing how they played the rest of the postseason, this game was going to look exactly how it was going to look. I thought, even though I had faith in the Patriots defense, I thought that Sam Darnold and the offense would look better, honestly. I thought they would play better. My thought process is, if these guys can't score, Seattle's going to put up some points. So even though I had faith in the Patriots defense, I was a little stunned that this game was going the way it was going. I mean, field goal after field goal after field goal, to the point where they got 3 field goals up on the board. It's 9-0, and I'm like, the Patriots still yet in the third quarter, y'all still got a chance to win this game. It's like 9-0. Yet and still, punt after punt, sack after sack, misread after misread, and again, not a single adjustment made. Playing the game as if Sam Darnold was just going to hand you the game. And he tried to a few times. Sam tried to give you that ball, but they didn't take advantage of it. And then he started to be smart with the football, right? Then he started to be smart with the ball, right? Take less chances, hit guys that were open, eventually got a touchdown, and it broke the game wide open. So I give a shout out to the Seattle Seahawks because they have been a dominant team all season. Whatever you've needed from the Seattle Seahawks to win football games, you have gotten. If you needed an offensive explosion, they gave you that. If you needed standout defense that shut you down, you got that. If you needed both, if you needed great offense and great defense, you got that. And so they did what was necessary to win the game. And I give a shout out to Sam Darnold. Now I'm gonna talk about him in a second, but I do want to say, for the purposes of this topic, he went out there, he got the job done. He did what was necessary on this run and throughout this season to go out there and get the job done. What he did was not easy because they could have lost to the Rams. That was his moment. He could have lost to the Rams. And we came out here and said, I came out here and said, if you look crazy again in the Super Bowl, the narrative's going to come right back. If you come out, you turning the ball over and you cost the Seahawks a Super Bowl championship against this Patriots team, and Drake may go out there and outplay you on this stage, we gon' all of the, how he looked with the Jets, and how he looked in them last couple games with Minnesota. All of that is gonna come back to the forefront. Even though it seemed like you got over that hurdle in the NFC Championship game, there is another one to get over. And yet and still, he went out there in the Super Bowl, didn't put up crazy numbers. What he had, 19-38, 202, 1 touchdown. But the key, again, no fumbles, no interceptions. When you had an opportunity to put a field goal on the board, you did so. And then shout out Kenneth Walker. 27 carries, 135 yards. It was enough to get the job done. I hate to say this because I don't want to disrespect Seattle. I've been disrespecting Seattle all year, so I want to give them credit where it's due, and I give them credit. But I'm just watching this game like, what the hell are the Patriots doing? Like, it would be one thing if they came out and they took those chances and they ran a couple trick plays and we saw them dig in the bag a little bit and it just didn't work. And it's like, dang, they trying everything. But Joe, the whole first 3 quarters, man, it's like, yo, how did y'all think this was going to go? If you came out playing like this with no real adjustments, taking no chances, you thought Sam again was just gonna give you 2 pick sixes and you was gonna win off that? You thought he was gonna be Jarrett Stidham? You thought he was gonna be C.J. Stroud? I'm lost. It's just crazy. Like I said, as a guy that picked the Pats, I was very disappointed. And I've been saying my prayers for Teddy, man. I know he ain't gonna say it, but I know that L hurt. I've been there, Teddy. Patriots fans, I've been there. Losing the Super Bowl, it ain't fun, yo. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would rather lose the Super Bowl the way y'all lost than lose it the way we lost with the holding call on Bradbury. I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather lose it that way. I'd rather lose it this than losing, in a heartbreaking fashion. It seemed like y'all knew by third quarter, y'all probably was gonna lose this game. Like, I'd have been frustrated, but man. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts about the game. Shout out to Seattle, though. They earned it. I doubted them all season long. They won in a window that they needed to win in, for sure.
Yeah, they were down 19. They had a 19-0. Mike Vrabel got a coach, point blank. They were a couple of seats. Like I said, they were down 12-0. It was 4th and short, and they didn't go for it late in the third quarter. They punted it. It was very conservative, like you said. Now, Drake May did miss some throws, though.
Mm-hmm.
So he was pressured 19 times. That's the 3rd most in his career. He also had 10 off-target passes. That's his career high. He had 10 missed throws, bro. He had one guy wide open in the flat. He threw out of bounds. He, on the 3rd down, I forgot who it was. He missed that one. That was a bad pass. Like, he was just missing guys the whole night. Got sacked 6 times, was a tied career high, and he committed 3 turnovers when being pressured, which is his career high. So he had his legit worst game probably in his career in the Super Bowl. And Mike Vrabel ain't doing no favors. And then I know it's not big no more, but the score was 19-0. You score a touchdown and you kick a field goal to go down by 12. My mind in the 4th quarter, AJ, my mindset is like, go for 2. Because if you go for 2, you're down by 11. You know Seattle might get another field goal. Then you're down by 14. But instead, if you don't go for 2 and you miss it, you still in striking range. You still gotta get 2 touchdowns regardless.
Right.
If you kick a field goal getting 12, you still gotta get 2 touchdowns. So I didn't understand what that was. But Mike Vrabel definitely got outcoached in this game for sure.
Yeah, it just came down to, again, them playing as if they was playing not to lose the game, Joe. That's
what it was the whole game.
That's what it was. That was the theme of the game. Because why not go for 2 there, right? Why it just didn't feel like they wanted to go win it. It felt like they wanted to have the game handed to them, like these other games. Because the other games in the playoffs went that way. It's like after the first possession of the game, they was just like, all right, well this is gonna go like the other playoff games. Forget it. It's like they. And you heard what I forget what player it was, but they asked one of the Seahawks players, like, when did you know you had him? He said after the first possession, defensively. I forget, I wish I remember the defensive player's name, but he said after the first possession, we knew we had them.
Yeah.
Right after the first possession.
In the first half, Drake May had 56 passing yards. Sam Darnold had 76. It was an ugly offensive game. I will say
terrible.
That. But I know what's ugly in your mind. People quarterback rankings. It's a lot of people talking, man, since Super Bowl happened. High praises for Sam Darnold, ranking him above a lot of people, including some people or somebody. That's your dog. Uno, Jalen Hurts. I know when people in our community saw the list with the S at the end, they was like, they got him above AJ guy? Oh, I can't wait to watch Unfazed to see what AJ got to say about this. The boy behind the curtain, y'all. AJ hit me up. And he said, "Hey Joe, I don't know what you talking about. We gonna talk about the Super Bowl, but we gotta talk about this ranking. Cause they playing with my boy. So AJ, we're not gonna just talk about your boy. We're gonna just talk about the whole NFC. That's what everybody's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to give an order, because I will create some more chaos. How many QBs in the NFC would you rank over Sam Darnold, if any? Because he might be just number one.
He might be number one. He ain't number one, but he might be. You know what I mean? He might be on some people's list. He might be number one. So for me, I'm consistent. I respect championship pedigree. Whatever you did to get to that level of play, to get to that trophy, to get to that Lombardi, to get that ring, that's hard to do. So I respect when you accomplish that, especially if you already have the stats, the regular season, and things like that to back it up. It'd be one thing if it was like a Trent Dilfer situation, or a situation by which, like, even though Drake May had a all-pro season and was second in MVP voting, it'd be another thing if he won and he kept playing the same way he played, let's say, in the Broncos game. Then we looking at him like, okay, like, he really didn't do nothing. But Sam Darnold has now strung together 2 great seasons, winning 14 games in both, and very good stats, good to great stats along these runs to get in one season last year to the postseason, and in another to get all the way to the Super Bowl. So I had to really think about this and reevaluate when I'm seeing everybody's list and I'm seeing all of these names mentioned, with him, above him, all the names he's above. I had to really think about it. And Joe, for me, when I really sat back and thought about it, staying consistent with how I view championships, I said it's 2 quarterbacks. In the entire NFC right now, it's 2 quarterbacks that I would say I will put over Sam Darnold. And then there's a third that just my eyes tell me he's not better than. I'll get to the third when it's time to get to the third. But I want to start with the first 2. In no particular order, I'm going to say Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, I know that they played in the playoffs. I know that the Seattle Seahawks won the division and they knocked the Rams out. But Stafford was on another level all season long. Not only was he on another level all season long, but now he's the league MVP. First team All-Pro. I think that's the first time in his career he's won MVP and first team All-Pro. So now he's, in my opinion, first ballot Hall of Famer. Given his stats and everything he's accomplished, he's still playing at an extremely high level. Great regular season, sensational playoffs. He was not the reason why they lost to Seattle. You can make the argument Sam Darnold was the reason why they won. But Matt Stafford, in my opinion, given what we saw this season, given what we saw leading up to this season, he's also a champion, Matt Stafford belongs ahead of Sam Darnold. I trust Matt Stafford more than I trust Sam Darnold. He's performed at the highest of heights in the big-time moments more than Sam Darnold. And the second guy is Jalen Hurts. Again, no particular order. Where you got Hurts 1 or 2 or whatever, no particular order. I got Jalen Hurts. The thing that bothers me about the Jalen Hurts conversation is we got a lot of people coming out saying, well, since Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl, he must be number 1, right? He must be the best quarterback in the league. He must be top 5. And it misconstrues us Eagles fans' points when we said Jalen Hurts is top 5. Jalen Hurts belongs in these conversations. Most of us did not start having these conversations until Jalen Hurts was second team All-Pro. A lot of us didn't start having these conversations until he had been to not 1, but 2 Super Bowls. Not 1, but 2 Super Bowls. All of us started to have this conversation when he won All-Pro, been to 2 Super Bowls, and became a Super Bowl MVP. So you have all of that on your resume backing your greatness. But I want to speak to something, a bigger point, right? I gave Sam Darnold his credit, but I want to say this now to the Seahawks fans and the people that want to throw Sam Darnold in this conversation for he's got to be top 3 or top 2 in the NFC, if not number 1 in the NFC. I want to say this. Sam Darnold is a guy that has jumped from place to place, except for recently. Now, 2 great seasons. Let's talk about the 2 great seasons now in its proper context. Last year for the Minnesota Vikings, great numbers, right? Over 4,000 yards, bunch of touchdowns. He didn't have a bunch of turnovers. But then when it mattered most, like I always bring up, right? against Detroit down the stretch of the season and against the Rams, he folded in both games. You can make the argument that he single-handedly sold the Minnesota Vikings season. And that is why the Minnesota Vikings decided, we're going to get rid of Sam Darnold and try the young guy. Because even though Sam could put up the numbers, we're not sure we can win a championship with Sam Darnold. Now, clearly they were wrong because he just won the championship, right? But that was the taste that was left in their mouths after how he played those last couple games of the season. So now you come into this season, another 4,000-yard season, right? 25 touchdowns. He gets the team to the Super Bowl, right? People forget he led the league in turnovers. Nobody talks about that. People don't talk about that because of the fact that Sam Darnold got to the playoffs and didn't turn the ball over once. Now I give him credit. He got to the playoffs. He did not turn the ball over one time. Credit where it's due. But leading up to that moment, he had led the league in turnovers. Think about that, Joe. They won 14 games, the Seattle Seahawks, with Sam Darnold leading the league in turnovers, right? So that has to be mentioned. Then you get to the playoffs, Joe. As great as they are, I'm happy that he won a championship. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's giving you one great playoff game. One. Against the Rams. That was it. He was mediocre at best in the Super Bowl. He didn't do much in a divisional round game. Either special teams, defense, and run game took that game over. So in his two best years, granted, he won the Super Bowl, right? He didn't get an All-Pro. He didn't get a Super Bowl MVP. He led the league in turnovers, and he crumbled in two of the biggest games of his career. That's what's happened, and he's giving you one great playoff game. And now all of a sudden, he's better than the guy that has been to the playoffs every year with the same team, grown and developed with a team, right? Every single year, right? Been to two Super Bowls. One, you could argue he carried the team. Another, you could argue he was carried, but then showed up in the biggest moments. Also being All-Pro, not to mention the one game that we glorifying Sam Darnold in against the Rams in Stafford. My guy Jalen Hurts is undefeated against, never lost to Matt Stafford on any stage, on any level, and has always outperformed Matt Stafford. Eye test can be debated with the playoff game, but statistically has always outperformed Matt Stafford every single time they've lined up, right? Every single time they lined up. And then, last thing I'll say is this, Joe, and then I'll kick it to you. The numbers, the raw numbers. 2024, let's compare championship seasons. Let's compare championship seasons. Jalen Hurts 2024, his completion percentage was 69.2. This is, and when I say championship seasons, this is the whole season, including playoffs. These numbers I'm reading off right this second. Jalen Hurts, 69.2 completion percentage, 4,454 yards. That's total, passing and rushing. 41 touchdowns, 11 turnovers. Now let's talk Sam Darnold. Completion percentage, 66.7, 4,829 yards, 30 touchdowns, 20 turnovers. To my eye, I mean, Jalen Hurts got a better completion percentage. He got less yards, but he got more touchdowns and less turnovers. That sounds like a better overall season. But then you say, you know what, let's just talk about the postseason run. Just the postseason runs, right? Sam Darnold in the playoffs this past year, 61.5% completion percentage, 672 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and a 102.4 passer rating. Jalen Hurts in his playoff run, 71.4% completion percentage, 726 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, a 108.6 passer rating, 194 rushing yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. To me, again, it sounds like in the biggest moments in the playoffs, along with the whole totality of the season, Jalen Hurts played better. But Sam Darnold, the way he throw the football, is a little prettier. That's what it comes down to. He's your prototypical quarterback. He's not going to get out of the pocket. He's not going to run a bunch. He's going to throw a nice deep ball. He's going to hit JSN on the routes. He's going to step up in the pocket, make the plays. You know, it'll look a little better. Man, this whole conversation around Jalen Hurts doesn't do nothing but prove to me that people was just waiting on an opportunity. I know we talk crazy, so I get it. But people was just waiting on an opportunity for somebody like a Sam Darnold to come through and win so they can say, oh, well, take Jalen Hurts out of this and out of that. Come on, bro. Give me Jay Hurts. Give me Matt Stafford. Oh, and the last, I know I'm going, but the last name I do want to mention. Just my eyes, given what I saw. I can't say it because we didn't see it this year. And that's your boy Jaden Daniels.
Oh, I was going to say Dak.
Nope. That's your boy. Dak, statistically in the regular season, yeah. But, like, Dak ain't shown that he could do what Darnold just did. Dak has had opportunities where his defense has dominated. The game, 2 games against the Niners, his defense played very well. And Dak couldn't put the second one, he couldn't put a touchdown on the board. He couldn't get you a touchdown. I mean, so I personally can't. I can't do it. And Purdy, you can make the argument, Kev, but Purdy couldn't get them boys over the hump. He couldn't get them over the hump. Purdy is probably the next closest to me, but like they kind of on the same playing field to me. And I mean, he smashed Purdy when they played. Or the Seahawks did. He didn't really dominate Purdy, but I can't. I'm giving Sam Darnold that championship boost. But in the case of Jaden Daniels, we didn't see it all this year, but last year was special. When it comes to mobility, when it comes to accuracy, when it comes to arm talent. Like, I'm taking him over Darnold. If you just ask me to just draft quarterbacks. Ranking, I have to put Darnold over Jaden right now. But if you just asked me to pick a quarterback, I would probably pick Jaden over Darnold as well. But just for the sake of this conversation, Stafford Hurts.
Hey, shout out to, I'm telling you, man, people be watching. They might not be in the comments, but soon you mention they boys.
Yeah, right.
Okay, AJ, this was a tough question. See, this is when we do rankings, when I rank people and you get the guy like Sam Darnold, and it just tells you it's not all about accolades. It's just not. Because based off my criteria, I have to put Sam Darnold high because he won a Super Bowl. And I get it, he didn't play well in the Super Bowl, but he at least played well in the NFC Championship game. I got to give him credit for that. Like you said, he had good statistics in back-to-back years. I got to give him credit for that. And once again, he won the Super Bowl. So, like, how can I put somebody who haven't sniffed the Super Bowl above him? It just logically make no sense, right?
Right.
So, like I said, it was tough. I have 2 different lists.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is getting interesting. Okay.
I have a ranking list, and I have a they are better than him list.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So my ranking list, no order. I got your boy Hurts in there. And I agree with you 100%. For those who say, oh, now that Sam Darnold won, he's the best in the league, right? Oh, number 1 in NFC, right? At least Hurts won Super Bowl MVP. At least he did that. You know what I mean? So that's a different story. Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, and I'm going to put Purdy in there. And the reason why I'm putting Purdy in there, because Purdy took his team to the NFC Championship game twice, and he got hurt in one of them. Purdy's been more consistent than Sam Darnold. And like Kev said in the Super Bowl, Purdy actually played good in the Super Bowl. CMC turned the ball over. He didn't. The defense let him down. He got a field goal. He got a field goal in overtime. They gave him a touchdown overtime. So that's why I would put Purdy in there. And then I got those Sam Darnold in there. See, this is where list becomes weird. Because Sam Darnold is clearly not better than some guys that I want to put above him. Now, I got some guys who I think is better than him. I think Baker is better than Sam Darnold. I got to be honest with you. I think Baker, it's just this. If I take Sam Darnold, I know you hate doing this. You hate
Right.
with your guy.
Right.
But Seattle had the number one defense. Have Baker ever came to the playoffs number one defense? No.
No.
But have Baker won games in the playoffs for his team? Yes, he has. I'm debating with Jared Goff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff had one bad playoff game. That's it. Since he's been with the Lions, I would say. Because he played good against when he lost the 49ers, he played good. They had key drops in that game that he had nothing to do with. He beat Baker, but I'm not gonna put Jared Goff in there. But I'm definitely putting Jalen Daniels in there. I think he's better than Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. See, but I gotta rank Sam Darnold higher than Jalen Daniels because he only got 1 year.
Right.
He only got 1 year, But the 1 year that he had more responsibility, a lot more than Sam Darnold had. And people always, y'all blew us out, right? Y'all blew us out. But I can look at that game and said, he looked better in that game than Sam Darnold did in the Super Bowl. And y'all defense was better. But when it comes to rankings, it's only Hurts, Stafford, and Purdy. I can't put nobody else above him based on he got a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But he had a number one defense. And the running back won MVP, and he didn't even score a touchdown. Now, people might say, well, Julian Edelman won Super Bowl MVP, and he scored a touchdown. But Brady, at that point, already had 5 Super Bowls. I mean that was his 6th he went for. So that's why I would say he is 4th in the NFC. But I will put Baker and Jalen Daniels above him, though. As far as I don't think he's better than Baker, and I don't think he's better than Jalen Daniels.
So you got Baker, you got Purdy, you got Stafford, you got Hurts, and you got Jaden.
That's who I would pick before him. But ranking,
so you got 5 guys. So you got 5 people over him, and then you got him ranked in the top 4.
Yeah, top 4.
Okay, say that so it felt like you said that so reluctantly because it
goes against everything. I know he's not better than some people, but based on how like you said, being consistent, based on how I've been ranking guys, he's 4th.
Yeah, like I said, it's not, and this is why I get so upset when we talk about my quarterback, because we act as if winning a Super Bowl as one of the best players, because he's undeniably one of the best players on the team. Like, he's a part of the reason why they won the Super Bowl. He's a big part of the reason why they were 15-3 to begin with, the number 1 seed, to get to have the number 1 seed in the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. So it's not like he's just a guy that all season long just been along for the ride. Like, he's a big focal point for the team. So defenses are game planning to stop the run game and game planning to stop him and game planning to stop JSN. It's not like they going in like, he's Trent Dilfer, he's Rex Grossman, he's an afterthought. We got to lock in on these other guys. Like, they thinking about Sam Darnold too, because Sam Darnold can kill you. If you give him time in the pocket, he could dice you up. He's shown that time and time again. And so when you have that backing you, right, and you have a solid season, even though he led the league in turnovers, you have 2 solid seasons backing you in a row with 2 different teams. And then you get to the playoffs, and, I know he was banged up in that first game, right? And then in the second game, it's like, all right, this is the moment where they need you to go out there and outperform Matt Stafford. Go out there and win a shootout against a team that you struggle with in the regular season. Right, I think one of those games he threw 4 picks against the Rams in the regular season. So this defense that you've now played this will be your 3rd time. This defense knows you well, and you know them well, and they know your tendencies. This is a division rival. We need you to go out there and take out the league MVP. He goes out there and does that. Like, it's hard to do. All of these guys that we want to give, credit to, and we want to say they are these high-level guys, from the Josh Allens to the Lamars, to the Mahomes won championships, to the Burrows, to all of these guys that we throw in this conversation. Some of these guys have been in similar situations, if we call in a spade. Like, Lamar has had a number 1 defense. Josh Allen had top 5 defenses that he marched into the playoffs with. He had a Stephon Diggs at one point that he marched into the playoffs with. Burrow had opportunities in the Super Bowl against the Rams, and he didn't play well. Granted, offensive line didn't play well either. But he didn't make the necessary plays he needed to make to win that game either. And so that's why I say it's hard to do. I give him credit, which is why I only put him up there with champions. If he was the only champion in the NFC, I'd be like, I'm going to give it to Sam because he just won the Super Bowl. I'm going to give it to him. The playoff run was not super impressive to me, but he strung together 2 solid seasons. He's a focal point on the team. He has done what it takes to accomplish the ultimate goal in the sport, which is to win the Super Bowl. Even though, his task might not be as difficult as some of the other guys. We understand that, but it's still a task. It's not easy to do. So, but when you compare him to them champions, put some respect on my quarterback, because my quarterback is an All-Pro, is been to the Super Bowl twice. Let's put some extra dip on the chip when we talk about my dog. That's all I gotta say. And then Stafford you don't really have to. Stafford. When it's time to, I can't wait until we get to the point in the offseason where we talk about complete rankings for quarterbacks, because Stafford in some conversations I didn't think I'd be putting them in, but Stafford is. We gonna have some conversations about Stafford this offseason. Eye test wise, I agree with you on Baker. Purdy, I'm with you, but I just feel like it's the Purdy situation is just. I see it, but at the same time, like, I feel like he's had a team good enough to win, and I know he didn't play bad in the Super Bowl, but it's not like he went out there and lit it up either against the Chiefs, right? Like, we saw a muff punt. They had control of the game. We saw a muff punt in the Chiefs game completely swing momentum, and it's not like he didn't have opportunities. If you remember correctly, I forget who it was towards the end of the game, they had an opportunity to go for a first down. I think it was like 3rd and 2 at their 20-yard line or so, 15-yard line at the end of regulation. And he had a guy, I want to say it was Ayuk, on the out route, and he missed him.
No, he got,
because it was a blitz coming that he didn't.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, but at the end, was that an OT or was that the end of regulation?
That was an overtime.
Okay. All I'm saying is, I just think that that could go either way. That one can go either way. I'm gonna lean towards the champion though, because that's just I'm being consistent with that. I'm gonna lean towards the champion, but eye test wise, I can see Baker. I can see Jaden for sure. I can see, obviously Stafford and Hurts. Purdy,
look,
I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one for me. Because last thing I'll say, and I'll pass it to you. Mm-hmm. I hate to do this, but we do it to my guy all the time. We ain't seen a quarterback play bad in that system over there in San Fran. We haven't seen. We saw. What's his name? Trey. What was his name? The rookie that we saw, Trey Lance. That was it. But, we saw Garoppolo get over there and get to a Super Bowl. We saw it, and then we saw Mac Jones get over there and ball to the point where some people were saying he should start over Purdy.
But no one has in that playoff run. No one in the Shanahan era has came down from 8 points in the fourth quarter. Just 8 points, something like that. And Purdy did it. He did it against the Lions. They were down by like almost 20. He came back and won. He balled out. But here, see, this is where it's not black and white sometimes. Like, when you get guys like Sam Darnold that sneak in, it's not so black and white. Look at the degree of difficulty. When we talk about him out-dueling Matthew Stafford.
Right.
I saw Bryce Young against that same defense light them up. I saw Caleb against that same defense play well. Sam Darnold went against his defense. Matthew Stafford went against the number 1 defense. That's not the same. Like, it's not. Look what Sam Darnold did against the number 2 defense. And we talk about Purdy didn't get it done. Purdy went against a good defense. The Chiefs had a really good defense that year. And they had Patrick Mahomes, bro. Yep. He went against Patrick. Sam Darnold went against Drake May. They set up for field goals, bro. He had 76 passing yards at halftime. He didn't throw a touchdown until late in the fourth quarter after they got a turnover. K9 won MVP, and K9 didn't have a touchdown. So it's like bruh, I'm not trying to disrespect Sam Darnold because he won. But you could insert multiple quarterbacks in that situation and say, just don't turn the ball over. And we good. And we'll win that Super Bowl. Now, I would give them credit for the Rams win, but once again, that Rams defense, secondary, I should say, is not peaches. It's peaches and cream. That's what it is.
It was. Yeah.
So I mean, look, no disrespect to y'all, but look what y'all did. Once y'all said, you know what, let's throw the ball on these dudes. Y'all came back and won.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like when I look at black and white, yes, he's fourth. Black and white. Okay. What did he do? He won a Super Bowl. He got this many yards. Okay, cool. Well, if I never watched the game and I just look at numbers and say, okay, cool, he got this. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, he's fourth. But when I watch the game, it's like, dog, he ain't fourth. He just not. And Purdy is above him because Purdy has been more consistent than him. And although other guys been in that system, when Garoppolo got to the Super Bowl, he wasn't leading them for real. It was they killed them with the bro. He threw the ball 8 times, and they still won the game.
Other quarterback. He's better than a quarterback. He's better than Mac Jones. He's better than Garoppolo. He takes them to another level. But my thing is, and I don't want to hold it against him, but sometimes when I think about him, it's like, dude, like I didn't see Shanahan have success with other guys that are not as good. He's just the best of those guys, and he elevates them to another level. But
Clint Kubiak was good too, though.
Clint Kubiak is good.
Seahawks had Geno last year, and they won 10 games.
That's true.
With Ryan Grubb too as their offensive coordinator. So, I mean, give him his props though. He's fourth.
And like I said, I know Dave gonna see this. I get the Purdy argument, and I want to give respect to Purdy. And last year I had him in my top. I think it was top 7 going into the season. I know I had him top 10. I think I had him 7 or 8 on that list. So I was one of the few people this offseason that had Purdy still.
I think you had him higher than me, I think.
Yeah, I had him pretty high, given what given his resume and what he's accomplished. I mean, he knocked us out too. So he went toe to toe with my boy, knocked us out. You know what I mean? And they did what they're supposed to do against Philly in Philadelphia, which is not easy to do. So credit where it's due. It's just.
You think Sam Darnold would have did that, bro?
No. No. I don't, bruh. I don't. And I think honestly, internally, Joe, I think it's me fighting with trying to give Sam Darnold proper respect, but also I feel how you feel. Like I still don't think he like that. I still really don't think he like that, given what we saw. Like I said, he gave you his whole career, he gave you one great playoff game. One. It just happened to be the best moment you could ask for. And it was enough for him to ultimately win the Super Bowl. But, and I'm not saying Purdy ain't a top 5 guy in the NFC. You know what I mean? It's just like it's hard. It's hard, Joe. It's hard. It's hard, Joe. It's hard. I thought about Purdy, but I don't know, man. I just know for a fact, figgity fact, that he ain't over Stafford and he ain't over my guy Hurts. Who also I'm glad you brought up the Chiefs thing, because that was something else that I ain't mentioned. We went up against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl twice. Jay Hurts was a part of a team that stopped the first three-peat in history. Like there was levels to this, but the haters.
And he played well the first time against the Chiefs.
He played well the first time, and if they won that Super Bowl, he'd be MVP. Well. Yeah, he had the obviously big play losing the ball. You ain't had to bring that up, but I feel you. He had the fumble return for the touchdown, but he played well. And then in this one, he played well.
I do. Before you move forward, I want to show you this comment.
Okay.
The way you lean back, you like, oh, come on, Joe.
Like, bro, here we go, bro. Here we go, bro.
Golf.
Well, come on, bro. You serious right now?
999, no Hurts. No hurt.
People, bro, the casuals can't stand my guy because it ain't pretty. Like Kev been telling me this for years. I've been ignoring it, but that's what it is. It ain't pretty. So the casuals, they throw their shots and shades at Hurts, but they talk numbers when it's convenient. Then when I give them the numbers in comparison to the Darnold, they all of a sudden don't know the numbers no more. The numbers don't matter. Now it's about how it looked. You know, it.
Okay.
Hurts
He
is
said
good.
Hurts is
Top
good.
two do the
Top
winners.
two.
Okay.
Okay. Respect.
Okay. So
I do
okay,
want
okay,
before
okay.
I do want to say this for
My
those
bad,
who
bro.
are putting
You that's not a casual statement. My bad, bro. You're not a casual.
for those who putting Sam Darnold above Hurts, how they view Sam Darnold. This no shot at your boy, but
Mm-hmm.
how they view Sam Darnold is how they view Hurts in a different way. Like, no, I'm not gonna say this. They think Sam Darnold is probably more a talented quarterback than Hurts, but he
Mm-hmm.
can't live to the big moment. But they think that Hurts is not as talented, but he does live to the big moment.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at Sam Darnold's resume, Hurts' resume is better than that. So, like, if you think if you now, because before the season, you didn't have Sam Darnold top five in your top five. I'm talking about everybody else in the world. But
Right.
because he won the Super Bowl, now he's in your top five. So, what is Hurts then? You know,
Right.
like you said, Hurts won an All Pro. Like you said, he went Super Bowl twice and played
Mm-hmm.
well in both Super Bowls. Last year, he played well in the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl and won Super Bowl MVP. So wherever you have Darnold, you have to have Hurts above him. It's like you have to.
It only makes sense unless you genuinely don't like him or you just don't like Eagles fans, which
It's
I
not
do
bad.
understand. No, you good. You good. You
We're not
good.
gonna
We
ban here. We
appreciate it.
never ban nobody. Let
Yeah,
you know.
nah.
It's like, wow,
Unless you
like that's not
right,
sports
right, right.
related.
No, you good. Yeah, no, that's literally and I want to say this before we quickly move on. The Super Bowl is what I think people believed Hurts was gonna look like last year. It's exactly what people believed Hurts was going to look like last year. It was going to be the defense dominating if the Eagles won. It was so many people before the Super Bowl
Facts.
last year saying to me, if the Eagles win, it's going to be because of their defense and Saquon. The defense going to dominate and Saquon going to take over. It's probably going to be Saquon going to be MVP. I had a guy tell me it's no way because Stephen A. before the game said Eagles going to win, Hurts going to be MVP. And they laughed him out in the comments. They laughed him out. It's no way Hurts is gonna win Super Bowl MVP. It's no way he's gonna win Super Bowl. It's the only way they win is if Saquon goes off for 150 yards. Blah 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 blah. So that's what they expected, and he went out there and did what he did. And now defense was sensational for sure, but he went out there and did what he did and was Super Bowl MVP. The game that y'all wanted to see, that y'all thought y'all was gonna see out of Jalen Hurts, you saw out of Sam Darnold. He rolled his defense. He rolled his run game. He he scored a touchdown late and got some field goals and won off that. And now it's like, well, Eagles fans. I mean, he gotta be. It's just hate, Joe. It's just a lot of hate. And to
I
those
believe you.
analysts on First Take and all that, y'all just. I don't understand. Y'all are NFL analysts. I just. It makes no sense, Joe. It makes no sense. But I gotta ask you, speaking of Boston, speaking of the Pats, speaking of the Super Bowl, Joe, there was another team. Yeah, don't get me started on Nick Wright. Don't get me started on Nick Wright. Don't get me started on Nick Wright. Oh my goodness. There was another team that played in the Super Bowl this past Sunday. And that
Okay.
was the New England Patriots. They got there. They said they had the easiest schedule since 1999. I think that was the best show on turf. They went on to win the Super Bowl, right? And a lot of people talked about how they had the easiest schedule, how they hadn't played nobody. Then they got a lot of breaks come postseason time, and it was gonna come to a head. They didn't know when, but it was gonna happen. Well, it came to a head in the Super Bowl. Now, who knows when Patrick Mahomes is coming back from his injury coming into this next season, if he comes back at all this next season. We got Lamar coming back with the new head coach. We have Josh Allen coming back with the new head coach. We got a lot of competition that's gearing up in the AFC, and they are no longer the Patriots that is the team that is going to sneak up on everybody. They won the AFC, so they are going to be the hunted in the AFC, a team that people look at to knock off and dethrone to get to next year's Super Bowl and beyond. So I have to ask you, do you believe the Patriots missed their Super Bowl window?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And it's not because of Drake May, but Drake May is part of it. Obviously, he's in his second year. And like you said, he just wasn't ready for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because of the head coach, Mike
Mm.
Vrabel. I saw Mike Vrabel go to the AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill. And then the next year, after going to the AFC Championship game, got the number one seed in the same year Lamar, Mahomes, and Josh Allen all played. Number one seed in the AFC. He lost to Mahomes. I mean, he lost to Mahomes, but it's Mahomes. He lost, but I don't think the window is closed because I believe Drake May will be better. Now, they were bad. Now, there are signs to show that they might be done because the schedule. You know they calling him Drake the Schedule May, right?
That's so
Yeah, I didn't know that
disrespectful.
until my boy Griffey mentioned it. Yeah, Drake the
That's so
Schedule May.
disrespectful.
In the playoffs, in the playoffs, Drake May was not good. Drake May in the postseason, 4 games played, 57 for completion percentage after leading the league in completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, 8 turnovers, 21 sacks taken, and an 81 QB rating. That's not good in the playoffs. And I'm going to switch the conversation a little bit, and then you can jump back into it.
Okay.
I just want to remind people who the best quarterback in the draft.
Oh.
I want to add this to the topic, but I knew it would take forever. But I just want to bring it up real quick because, some people came and said that Drake May is better than Jaden Daniels. I heard people all year. You know what's crazy, AJ? All year. They doing rankings on these networks, and they like, oh yeah, Drake May is the best. He's best. But then when the playoffs come, yeah, Josh McDaniels didn't help him. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. His O-line, he had the same O-line all year. Why are we talking about it now?
Same.
Did you know that Drake May only had 2 touchdowns all year against winning teams in the regular season? 2. Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel got more than him. Shador only got 3 touchdowns against winning team. Dylan Gabriel got 5. So the competition was clearly weak. And I want to bring up a stat. I don't know if you saw this. Caleb Williams played 2 playoff games because he only made the playoffs once. Drake May played 4. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix played 2. And Jaden Daniels played 3. The top 5 QBRs in the playoff games amongst the class. Number 1, you know who it is. Jaden Daniels, 90.8 against Detroit. Number 2, you know who it is. Jaden Daniels against Philly, 82.1. Number 3, you know who it is. Jaden Daniels, 78.2. 4 places Caleb at 70. It's a big gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even close. And Drake May is 5th. Where it was his highest QBR all playoff, 68.7. And I don't want to hear the defense because against Philly, who I think is a better defense than any defense they played, is 82.1. Maybe the Texans. Texans defense is pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Texas defense.
But I would say the Patriots. Y'all got the Patriots, and y'all got the Broncos, and y'all definitely got the Chargers. Because y'all forced turnovers.
Yeah.
That's why y'all really. That's not why y'all really beat us. But that's how I got blown out. Y'all forced only turnovers on my boys. Mm-hmm. So another thing. Jaden Daniels in the postseason, stats among 2024 QB class. Number 1 in QBR, number 1 in EPA per play, number 1 TDs per game, and number 1 in turnover as far as taking care of the ball. My man he just different, bro. He just different. My man just got hurt. And then Caleb had defense led the league in turnovers. Mm-hmm. Drake made defense was second in scoring points, scoring allowed, and yards allowed. And the Broncos led the league in sacks. You
got help.
I didn't. The one time we got turnovers, what happened? 45 points on the Detroit Lions. One time we get turnovers. We get a turnover on Baker, we go win the game. You give us the ball, we gonna score. So I want to set that record straight. But back to the Patriots. I think that their window was not closed because Mike Vrabel was there. They have a solid defense. They got Christian Gonzalez, who you get a cornerstone cornerback, that could take you far. So they got that. Now, they signed a lot of 1-year deals. They did what we did. Signed a lot of 1-year deals here and there. they're gonna have to retool some stuff coming in this offseason. You gotta re-sign some guys or find some new guys. But Mike Vrabel is a coach that you could feel like people want to go there and play for them. You know, so now Stephon Diggs, he's an aging receiver with some drama he got going on off the field. So
Right.
he got a lot of drama. My wife got me here. When my wife talked to me about the NFL drama, you in some drama because you don't know my football. All right. So he's not old, but he's an aging receiver. He's not that young guy. So we don't know if he's going to decline as far as his play. So I think they do need to get another receiver. But will they be back next year? If Mahomes is playing next year and he makes the playoffs, they not. If Lamar, if all the Avengers are back, the Patriots ain't going to Super Bowl. I can tell you that right now. But Drake has to elevate his game, and I think playing a tougher schedule will be better for them because they battle tested. They playing all these sorry teams, and when they get to the Super Bowl, you got to play the number one defense. It's a different story. So I don't think the window was closed.
Yeah, this comment right here, this had me rolling. Our defense. No, I feel because y'all defense, boy, it's something to behold, and it ain't in a good way. I tell you that, it ain't in a good way. I do want to respond to this comment. Gonzo is he's one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He ain't Myles Garrett. There's some other guys in that conversation that got to be brought up for sure, but his Super Bowl performance, his playoff performance, but most notably his Super Bowl performance was sensational. To answer this question directly, did the Patriots miss their Super Bowl window? Yes. I think they missed their window unless they get Ajae Brown. That's the only way it stays open, in my opinion. Do I believe they'll get Ajae Brown? I don't. Because honestly, it's starting to sound like he want to stay. As a fan, I'm kind of indifferent about it, honestly. On one end, I'm kind of tired of dealing with Ajae Brown. I really am. And I kind of feel like Jalen Hurts I feel like he'll play free without AJ. I feel like Devontae can step into that number one role seamlessly without AJ. But it's AJ Brown. It's AJ Brown, bruh. And I feel like AJ Brown makes us a better football team in general. Like, we're better when we have AJ Brown. So it's like I'm like, if we trade him, all right, I feel like we'll figure it out. And we have players in place. You still got Saquon, you still got Goddard, you still got Devontae. I feel like, we got to re-sign Goddard if we re-sign Goddard or draft the tight end. Yeah, but I feel like that'll make the offense, definitely need Goddard. But I think that'll make the offense look and feel differently, but I still think we'll be potent. And if we keep AJ, we kept AJ and we build up the rest of the roster. But I think if they can make a move to go get AJ or go and get another elite receiver, that window stays open. But as of right now, Joe, given what I have seen in this playoff run, knowing that their schedule is going to get harder from this point forward, they probably won't get the easiest schedule ever since '99 for a very long time. And when I think about Buffalo, when I think about Baltimore, when I think about Kansas City with Patrick, first off, Pat ain't give you too many bites at the apple in that AFC. He just ain't. We know how that go. He gave y'all a shot this year. AFC couldn't get it done. He come back healthy midway through the season, and the Chiefs are kind of in the mix. You know how that go with Pat. He coming back hungry and determined. We just know how that go, especially come playoff time. He got the mental edge over these guys. And then I look at teams like, Jacksonville looked really good this past year. They didn't play the best in the playoffs, but they looked really good. If CJ Stroud can figure it out, their defense is ready right now. Like, it's a good amount of teams right now in the AFC that I look at that I'm just like, are the Bengals completely done? Are the Bengals just not going to make the playoffs again? Like, it's just a lot of different teams in that AFC that I look at right now, and I just say to myself, they're obstacles to get back to the Super Bowl. Can't forget about the Broncos. The obstacles that they got to get back to that Super Bowl, and the AFC is going to be stiff from this point forward. And I think I have, at this point, too much respect for the big three, that is Patrick Mahomes, and outside of Pat, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, to say that he gonna get through this NFC again or this AFC again anytime soon without those two guys getting hurt. One of these guys gonna get out of this NFC, and I feel like once they break through once, it's gonna be hard to stop them from breaking through. That's how I feel like it's going to go. I feel like it's gonna be, you're gonna get Pat again at some point. You're gonna get Lamar. You're gonna get Josh, and then Lawrence might break through at some point, or the Texans, if like I said, if Stroud could figure it out, they might break through, or we don't know if it'll happen. But I just don't look at the Patriots right now as presently constructed. Again, we got a long offseason in front of us, right? But as presently constructed, as good as I think Drake May is, now who knows how long it's going to take him to elevate his game come postseason time, right? Like, we saw Peyton Manning go through this. Peyton Manning was horrible in the playoffs for a long time, Joe. Right? Lamar be up and down in the playoffs, Joe. And this Lamar Jackson, like, we seen great players not play big in the biggest moments. Too much for us to believe that after Drake May just had arguably the worst playoffs we may have ever seen, that he gonna come out next season with the dogs out, with the Pats and the Josh and the Lamar, and he gonna elevate and meet. I don't know. And then again, the Broncos gonna be at their neck when Bo Nix get back. Oh, they coming, they out for blood. So I think, and they have to take a big swing this offseason. It's got to be Ajae, or it's got to be someone else that come through. And I can't say Herbert. I respect the Chargers. I can't say Herbert. I just can't do it yet. I can't, but you never know. He get a playoff win. It might snowball because he is mad talented. The talent is there. So if he could get over the hump, it may snowball for him. You know what I mean? Maybe he makes some run. And honestly, if he can start winning and he can get in the mix, it's gonna really get ugly then because they defense been ready. Chargers defense been ready. So like I said, it's a lot of different teams in that AFC that you got to go through, and he's gonna have to elevate his game not only in the regular season to or at least maintain his game not only in the regular season to get a high seed in the NFC or in the AFC, but he also got to elevate to another level in the postseason, whether on the road or at home, to make a run through maybe going forward a gauntlet AFC. And I can't see it without a big swing this offseason offensively. So I'm gonna say for now no, but like I said, I'll change my tune if they go and get AJ Brown, or they go and get like Jettas. I think somebody said that in the comments. They go and get Jettas, or they do something crazy like that. Then we having a whole nother conversation. But right now, I think it's closed, Joe. I think it's over with.
See, next year, like I said, I don't think next year they're gonna do it. But you made a good point because like he's young and they got my Rebel. I think it's not close. I don't think it's close. But you made a good point though. Lamar and Josh Allen just watched them get there. Mm-hmm. If I'm thinking who they are even hungrier. Like it's like they used to see Mahomes is getting there. Mahomes, I was like, okay, it's Mahomes. Okay, we gotta beat this dude. They saw Drake make it. They're like, hold up, man. Nah. Especially Josh Allen. In my division, nah, bro. Ain't no way I'm gonna let this dude get to the Super Bowl before me. Sorry, Tom. I'll let you Dak Prescott. You see your fellow division guy gets to the big dance and you don't do nothing about it. But
NFC Championship, Super Bowl, all of that.
I know. But you're right. Like now Trevor Lawrence, maybe, but I think it could be a rotator and jump between Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar. I can actually see that for some years. They just rotating to get to the Super Bowl. And it's going to be hard for a guy like Drake May. Drake May, without the running ability, he looked like Eli Manning, bro.
Like, without the clutch gene.
Yeah, like, you know how, like, sloppy he could look sometimes? Like, dang, like, Eli Manning be looking sloppy. Like, dang, Eli Manning, what you doing? That's how Drake May look. Like, he got to get better. He's still young. He's 23. He got to get better.
Yeah.
So.
Our guy 9999 said he said Lamar and Josh don't have the makeup to get to the Super Bowl. And I just, I don't. Sometimes it takes legendary players a while to get over that hump. Sometimes it takes players a while. But this was what I will say is this is why I said Lamar and the Ravens got to get in. Cuz bro, this was the year. And I know Josh was looking at Drake May in that Super Bowl like, bro,
Oh my gosh,
oh my goodness,
bro.
what an opportunity. What an opportunity
Yeah,
that I sold this year, that we sold this year. You know.
not him.
So
Say me.
I mean, yeah, that he sold, yeah, that he sold with all those turnovers and all those bad plays, you know what I mean? And then Lamar, like I said, new coach, you stay healthy, they always in the mix as long as Lamar is healthy. But now the issue is we gonna see, and like if the Chiefs were smart, the Chiefs will take this offseason and go get a guy for at receiver. Like the Chiefs would bolster up that roster, and if they can do that, they go get another guy. Say they make a trade for a big time receiver, or they improve their run game, improve their offensive line. The Chiefs' defense is still pretty good, but the Chiefs would be right back. They'd be right back. I don't know if Kelsey's done. I think he should be, but like with them bringing back Eric Bieniemy, from what I'm seeing, it seemed like he happy they got Eric Bieniemy back, and it seemed like Travis, again looking at the landscape of this conference, Travis probably like calling Pat like, yo, you can't tell me we can't run through this mug one more time. Like that's why I think this is why, Joe. I heard multiple people say it, and I hate when people say it. You can only play with house money for so long. For a young quarterback, house money is we made it to the playoffs. House money is, hey, we won the playoff game. Right? Whether wild card round, we won the playoff game. House money is we won our divisional game. House money is out the window when you get to that AFC Championship. It's out the window now. Because now you one of the final four teams. You gotta go win it now.
Yeah.
Let's go get it done now. Like that's out the window, because this, you might win a wild card game. You might win a divisional round game again, right? Or in the case of Dak, you might not get past the divisional round. But you know, I had to. It just came to me. Came to mind. Right? But you might get back to the AFC Championship game, right? It's not like you get there every year, but you know, once you get there, the house money go out the window. You have a team that's good enough to make it to that Final Four. Players in that locker room, coaching staff, they feel like they can win it all when you get to that Final Four. So that's why the opportunity. I'm sorry, Tomo, bro. I didn't know you were still here, bro. Dang, my bad, man. You wasn't supposed to hear that. You wasn't supposed to hear these shots, man. But
yeah, look at them.
yeah. Aaron Rodgers ain't been back since. He went one time
And
and he cashed in. He cashed in when he got there. But since then, he been a division round out. He been NFC Championship game out. Has not been able to get back, and that's Aaron freaking Rodgers, bro. It's the NFL. So
Appreciate you.
Like I said, man, it is what it is, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Teddy, you know, for getting there. But the Eagles still the only champs in the R2L community. That's what I said. I throw it out there, man. We the only champs, man. We the only champs.
Hey, Tom, I didn't think you heard me, man. Dang, you heard me and AJ. I didn't think you heard my shot.
You hear all the shots, man. Crazy.
All right, it's about this up. It was a great show, man. Great show.
Yes,
like you said, probably the final time we talk about football unless something crazy happened in free agency or something like that, or a crazy coaching hire. But my last words are shout out to the whole R2L community. Shout out to the whole R2L network. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Timeout for Timeout. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We appreciate y'all, especially quadruple 9. We appreciate you. You've been active. I see you a Pats fan. He said go Pats. So tough loss.
That's what's up.
Tough loss. Shout out to Tomo, Jamo in the comment section. Kara was in the comment section. Shout out to all y'all that was here. And Commanders, man, I heard both of my coordinators talk, and I don't want to get too hype, AJ. I don't want to get too hype. You know, my defensive coordinator, I mean, he can't get worse. He coming from Brian Flores scheme, so he's been around the block. Like I said, he's from Capitol Heights. But I'm very, I was a coordinator, bro. I'm kind of like feeling good about him.
Okay.
He said one thing that I've been screaming for a long time. He's gonna put Jaden Daniels under center more often. I was like, yes, thank you. You know, so we always in shotgun. He said it opens up the play action more. You can do more stuff under the center, all that stuff. Like remind me of Ben Johnson when he tried to do with Caleb. So I'm
Smart,
excited
smart.
about this upcoming season to see my dog play, man. You know, in a healthy year. I want to see what we're gonna do in the off season. Now, NBA season, I am actually interested in seeing this World versus USA matchup. You know, like
Yeah,
KD
yeah.
called out Jokic and Luca. I like that. I like how some players are coming out saying they're going to play hard. You know, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. You know, I'm not looking forward to seeing Dane in the 3-point shootout contest while being
Right,
hurt. I
right,
did pick him to win
right.
though. I got him winning still, but
Fair,
yeah.
fair.
So great show, and shout out to you, AJ. Great show like always, and let's get it.
Yeah, man. And that's this Sunday too. Yep,
Yes,
that's this
sir.
Sunday. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody on the R2O channel, the Timeout or Full Timeout channel, wherever you watching, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. We appreciate all of y'all views, all of y'all subscribers, all of y'all likes, comments, everybody that's here for the live show. We appreciate everything. It makes the show pop. It makes the
Yes.
show shake. It makes everything fun. Well, y'all are in the comment section, agreeing with us, disagreeing with us, propping us, giving us questions and stuff for us to debate. It makes everything better. So we appreciate y'all. I'm excited to start talking basketball too, man. Like I said, this is probably the last week unless something crazy happens with the NFL, because you know off season is here. We got our coordinator too, so we're gonna talk about that at some point. But this NBA season starting to kick up a little bit, man. Yeah, man. I'm looking at these Pistons. These Pistons, unfortunately, looking good, looking real good. I'm looking at Jaylen Brown without Tatum, look like he could be MVP of the league. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of stuff. Looking at the Spurs, like they trying to take over the league. Wemby gave us 26 in the first quarter the other night.
27.
20. Gotta add the
No,
extra point in there.
my bad. It was 37 in the first half. My bad.
Yeah, 37 in the first half, but it was like 26 or 27 in the first
Yeah,
quarter of the game. Like, oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, my goodness, like it's a lot to talk about when it comes to basketball too. So I'm glad that we gonna start the basketball topics right after. Forget you, Carl. We're gonna start the basketball topics right after the All-Star break, because you know that's when everything really kicks up. So I'm ready to talk some ball, man. But yeah, those are my last words, man. Like usual, your boy. After a season that honestly for an Eagles fan it's kind of like we lost, but it's kind of like a throwaway season. Like, all right, the Seattle Seahawks won. You know, okay, cool. Like, congratulations, you know. But I'm on. Let's move. We're gonna move on, man. It ain't that big a deal. I don't think they're gonna repeat. I don't think they're gonna start a dynasty. I don't think it's nothing like that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, y'all got y'all. Y'all won in the window. Y'all supposed to win in. Congratulations. We're gonna be back next season, and we'll see what these Lakers up to, man. So like usual, man. I'm feeling unfazed, yo. I'm feeling unfazed.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.